we're all, at some degree or another, looking to be understood and seen and heard and valued. But even in that, there will always still be some level or degree of feeling misunderstood, feeling like people just don't quite fully get the depth of who we are, especially for artists, creatives, in this day and age, YouTubers, podcasters, writers, whatever you're doing. Even in our niches, there's still some level of feeling misunderstood. And so I just wanted to share a few things that have helped me navigate. And I realized that since I was very young, I've felt misunderstood. I felt like I've had to fabricate some surface level of a person that's relatable to others, but the true me, the real me, deep down in there, the one seeking to express itself, isn't very understood. So I've had to fabricate over the years this sort of, caricature of myself to present to the world that can be understood in some way. But now at 33, I've realized that that caricature that everybody relates with isn't really fully expressing the truth of who I am. So it's time to accept being misunderstood. And so if you're watching this and you feel deeply misunderstood, this could be misunderstood by a family member, a friend, or your community or your religion or whatever it could be. I just want to share with you 3 things that I've actually done in my life to help navigate and activate being misunderstood for my advantage. The first thing is deep acceptance. Accepting the fact that you will be misunderstood. And accepting the fact that it is not your goal to try to be understood by everyone. We try to, make ourselves so palatable and understandable to everyone that we ultimately use our uniqueness and we lose our nuance and we lose the beauty of really who we are seeking to express to be in our efforts to try to simply fit into the boxes that we think we should fit into for those around us. And so we spend a lot of energy and we spend a lot of effort and we spend a lot of care trying to mitigate being misunderstood. But deep acceptance of the fact that you aren't going to be everyone's flavor. You don't have to fit into everyone's boxes. Even people that are extremely influential in your life, or even, in my case, my own father. Like, the truth is, even as a kid, as I reflect, I realized there were deep parts of me that I knew I had to keep to myself that weren't understood. And even now as an adult, 33, here I am, still having conversations and being deeply misunderstood. So you just have to come to a deep, radical acceptance. Yeah, it's okay. And there's a particular energy and power that comes about when you have that radical acceptance that you're not for everybody, which we'll talk about more in a minute. But the second thing is choosing to not be offended. When someone doesn't get you, and they could even potentially poke at you or make fun of you or tear down who you are and whatever it is that you're creating and contributing, we have to choose to not be offended by their inability to fit you somewhere in the matrix of their mind. Because what people don't understand, they typically ridicule and they cast down and they critique And we have to choose that just because I don't fit in the matrix of someone else's mind doesn't mean I should be offended or upset or get down on myself even. It goes back to that first reality of acceptance. Yeah, it's okay. And I'm going to choose that my heart will not clam up. I'm going to choose that my heart will not seek violence. This doesn't have to be just physical violence, although you may want to knock somebody out sometimes, which, back in the day, I remember playing in a hardcore band and some people were making fun of one of our riffs and I wanted to fight them. It's like sometimes that you feel that. Or whatever it is. In this day and age, you would just try to, get at them on Twitter or whatever, but you just have to release all of your offenses and know that people will critique your work. People will critique you. People will try to get you to fit into their box so they know where to put you within them. But know this, in your non-offense, a way to help you move into that mindset of not being offended is having the mantra in your mind that I don't owe anyone any explanation for who I am. I don't owe anyone any help in making me fit into their understanding and comprehension of reality. Because we all share the earth, but we live in different worlds. And sometimes worlds don't flow in harmony together, and that's okay. Because one of the biggest things is understanding that, just like notes on a keyboard or a guitar, you have to understand what notes play in the same key. And if you're playing in a key and your note is in dissonance with another's, there's nothing necessarily inherently bad about you or that person, or there's no reason to get upset or angry about those notes that aren't playing in harmony. It's just simply, you will both find different notes that will play in harmony together. And sometimes that can be really difficult because these people are very close to us, maybe their family, like in my case, misunderstandings with my dad, But it's learning, where do we find harmony? And let's just stick in those arenas. And choosing to just not be offended about any of it. And choosing to see the being that is beneath the opinions and the concepts will help you understand that you don't need to be offended. And lastly, being misunderstood just really helps you hone and refine your gifts, skills, talents, abilities, identity. Because if you're misunderstood by someone, you're just refining who you are to be understood by. And when you betray who you really are to try to fit into the box of another, to try to fit into the mold of the mind of another being that is not in harmony with you, you are robbing the possibility of connecting with those that will understand you. And as you step into your misunderstandings, that is really just the truth of who you are being expressed, energy will find and pull and align you to the people that you are to be doing things with, to your crowd, to your tribe, to your audience, whatever it may be. But if you neglect that inner compass that is leading you to the truth of who you are, and you betray yourself just to try to fit into the mold of the mind of another person, again, you will consistently find yourself in places where you know that you are not in tune with the depth and the truth of who you are underneath all of the fabricated facade that you've created to present yourself to the world in effort to be accepted. And we shortchange ourselves, seeking acceptance, seeking to be understood, when really the beauty and the creativity of life is excavating the deep truth of who we are deep down within and expressing that into the world and allowing that activation to pull in all of the right opportunities, all of the right connections, all of the right projects, all of the right things that are for our incarnational expansion. And so accept that you're going to be misunderstood. Choose to hold the heart of non-offense. You're not attached to anyone's opinion, even your own ego's opinion. And allow that to become your Polaris star. Allow that to become your map. Allow that to become the rubric for what it means to step into the truth of your creativity seeking to express itself. And allow your misunderstandings to be your guide. And as you walk through those faithfully, consistently, over time, I think you'll be really happy. Because anytime that the soul begins to fall into its order, its natural order, it creates unity and joy and peace and clarity and love in our life, and enables us to then serve our life's purpose, serve those around us, serve those who need the medicine of your contribution to the ongoing healing of the world.